Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and welcome to IIPSOS media event. As we all know, we're here to discuss Ramadan 2011. Before we start, I'd like to introduce our panel. Dr. Amr Kais. He is the Managing Director of IIPSOS Egypt, as well as a marketing professor at the American University in Cairo. Ms. Hibatullah Afifi, who is the Head of Communication and Marketing Executive, Marketing Excellence at Nestle. Mr. Ismail Al-Khouli, who is currently the Acting Marketing Manager at Afia International, Savola, Egypt. Ms. Reem Hayati, who is the Associate Marketing Director for Juice Category B2B and Corporate Media, Juhayna. Unfortunately, الاتصالات اعتذروا ما كانوش هيقدروا يكونوا معانا النهارده. Now, we're going to discuss Ramadan 2011. But before we can discuss 2011, let's look at what happened in 2010. لو هنقدر نحطها. Well, there we go. So, Ramadan 2011, is it a ritual or a smart move to advertise? Let's look at what happened last year. In the radio, 15% of the total year expenditure was spent in Ramadan for the radio. When we look at TV, a quarter of the budget of advertising was spent just in that 1 month, as opposed to 75% divided on the remaining 11 months. Now let's compare 2010 with 2009. We will see that the government and charity ads in 2009 was much higher in 2009 and it decreased in 2010. Whereas telecommunications had increased. And if you take certain sectors within the communication, you'll find that some were higher than others. The beverages increased in 2010. I think people started associating more the fact that we have soft drinks in Ramadan. It's become like a thing. You have your cold drinks during Ramadan. And radio, compared to 2009, the telecommunication decreased from 2009 to 2010. Now, the content. How did the media decide to split the content that was going to be on TV? 68% of the TV content was for drama. 11% was on variety shows. 9% religious programs, and 5% for humor programs. Now, was this well divided? Was this content well placed? If you look at the viewership, 65% of viewers did watch the drama. That means almost every musalsal, every drama series that came out was watched. Now, if we look at the humor, this is the humorous programs, entertainment that was funny. That took second place at 13% if we compare it to the 5% allocated for content for humorous programs. So, then came along the revolution. And TV, as we know, kind of changed. January, we were still watching a lot of drama. People were still interested in the soap operas, the series, and everything. Then after the revolution, everyone became more interested about watching the news, what's happening in the country. So politics, news became the center focus of everyone that was watching TV. 43%, it was an increase in February. March, people started to sort of maybe get tired of watching the news, and they started going back to watching the soaps. And I think everyone notices that the trends keep on going up and down. Here, in April, it went back up to watching more news and political events. Right after the revolution, we were asking people how they thought of if you see an ad on TV, how would that make you feel? A lot of, like 36%, 34% thought it meant that the economy was doing well. By April, it increased to 39%. By May, 58% thought we're on the right track. It's good that we're seeing advertising. When we look at people that thought it was the bad time to advertise, in March, 26% of people thought it's not a good time to advertise right now. Now, when we look at the figures, the latest figures, in May, 3% of the people thought, and it's not a good time to advertise. Expenditure. In compared Jan of this year to Jan of 2010, we were doing very good at the beginning of this year. If you look at this purple bar compared to 2010, expenditure was doing really good. Then came along the revolution, and if you notice, a huge drop. 2010 was much better than 2011, although it's the start of the year looked really good. Then March, people became more confident. People wanted